"You're going to get an exorcist," her mother said, looking at her still with more concern. "A what?" Natalie screamed to her parents. Her facial expression was exclaimed. "Look, we just think there is evil inside you." Her mother frowned. "Yeah, you mean Satan." Natalie had a questioning look on her face. "Yes." Her mother shook her head agreeing. "Which is not true." She nodded her head back and forth. "But you worship him," her father said. "How do you know that?" Natalie had an even more questioning look on her face. "You have the satanic Bible and satanic rituals under your pillow." Her father stared right through her. "So, that doesn't prove anything. And what in the hell are you looking around in my room for?" Her blood was starting to boil with anger again. "Mind your language." And we just wanted answers. "Answers to what?" Natalie crossed her arms even tighter. "The way you act. There is no such thing as vampires. And is it so wrong to be concerned about your daughter?" her mother said, looking Natalie in the eyes. "There are such things as vampires. And since when do you become so concerned about me anyways? You never cared before." Natalie had a pissed off expression on her face. "That's not true. We always cared about you. Maybe you were just too busy with your little vampire friends to notice." Her father screamed and exclaimed at her, his face turning a bit red. "Or maybe you were too busy with your life to even notice me. I'm your daughter, Dad. You can be nice and compliment me every once in a while instead of picking out the bad shit about me and my mistakes." She leaned up and stared at him as if she was staring a hole through him. "There you go again with the language," her parents said. "There you go again with the bad shit," she replied. "How can I compliment you if there is nothing good about you? Maybe you're a one big mistake," her father said. There was nothing but silence at the moment he said that. She wanted to kill him so bad at that second. She clenched her hands and her expression went blank, and the only trace of emotion expressed on her face was a blank, cold, in pain and torment expression. She wanted to kill him so bad at that second. Now, she had no reason to live. Screw the vampire's blood. She'll drink her father's. "I didn't mean that, Natalie," her father said coldly. "Yes, you did." Her voice was flat and painful. Her mother shook her head and left the room. "Your exorcist is in a week. We will also be finding you a new school to go to." "Let me drop out," she shrugged. "Hell no!" Her father was pissed. "Why? I'll just get kicked out again anyway," she asked. "No, you won't, because you're now going to church every Sunday and learn that the things you say and do are wrong," her father said. "You say things that are wrong. You should learn too," Natalie replied. "I don't say things that are wrong," her father said. "I don't recall calling your daughter a big mistake is right in the Bible. Now is it?" Natalie said. "No, and I will learn," her father said as he left. He closed the door behind him. She heard the door click and listened to the thump of his footsteps as he walked out. She then fell back on the bed, her arms outstretched, laying there like a lifeless doll. She then thought to herself, "Hell no! As long as I'm living, I'm not going to a church or getting a freaking exorcist. He can kiss my ass along with the Principal Fraser and Nikki. Fuck them all!" She soon fell halfway asleep. She started having a dream, but it wasn't really clear because she was halfway asleep. And this is her dream. Someone was holding her and embracing her in their arms, but she couldn't see who it was. But it was the same person from the daydream. "I love you," the boy said. "Yeah, you won't for long." "Don't say that. I will. I always will," the boy said. "And I'll always love you." They both fell asleep and she was still in his arms. It all went black, but then it came clear and she looked way different. She was all pale, even paler than she was now, even though that was almost impossible to believe. She had black wings, thick, dark ones. She was sitting in a black room. She looked really angry and noticed that her wrist was busted open and torn. "I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay," she kept saying over and over to herself. went until someone busted in the room. It was a little girl, but she couldn't really make out the face. She could only tell the little girl looked about 7 or 8. "Natalie!" the little girl screamed, running towards her happily. She was going to give Natalie a hug, but Natalie stretched her arm out and knocked her in the face. The little girl fell down and got teary-eyed. "What has gotten into you? Just come home. He didn't mean to do it. He still loves you," the little girl cried. "Love is no more. Love is only a feeling, and feelings can go away at any time," Natalie replied. "Well, obviously you have no feelings," the little girl said. "No, I do not. I lost it," Natalie said. "Yeah, like you lost your heart and soul," the girl replied. "I'm dead, you little bitch! Of course I don't have a heart or a goddamn soul!" The little girl cried and ran out of the room. Then 3 more people walked in. "Come home," one boy said. Then Natalie was walking by, struck with thunder, and her dream was over. Then she thought to herself, "What the hell? Dead? Was that hell? Is that one had black wings? Was I a fallen angel? Or was I just angry in heaven?" "Your innocence turned me on," a voice said. She turned around to see Blaze. "What the hell do you want?" She was in a groggy mood. "Touchy, touchy. I just came to talk," he said as he started slowly walking towards her. She backed up into the wall, but she was still on her bed. "Oh, come on. You love vampires. You shouldn't be scared of me now." Then he sat on the bed and smiled at her. "What are you doing here?" she questioned. "We need people like you." He had a serious tone in his voice and a serious expression on his face. "Like what?" she asked. "Like the way you're not scared," he replied. "Well, who?" she asked. Then he smiled more. "My people. Your people," he said. "You mean vampires?" she asked. "Yes, I do," he nodded. "Well, won't they kill me?" She was getting a bit confused. "Oh, no. Maybe your family, but not you," he answered. "Why, I mean, when I was in the woods." She was then cut off. "Who'd you see? Was it a vampire?" Blaze asked. "Yes," she replied. "Oh, he said he came across you," Blaze said to her. "Who is he?" she asked. "My brother," he answered. "Well, he tried to kill me," Natalie said, a bit scared. "Only 'cause you were running from him. If you hadn't have run, maybe he would have let you go," Blaze said. "Well, why do you want me?" Natalie questioned even more. He got up and started walking back and forth, then jumped and turned to her, which scared her, and she jumped back a bit shocked. He laughed at the sight of that. "Natalie, you're special. You will fit right in along with us. We need strong people like you. You can help us defend ourselves and take over humankind," he said. She sat there thinking and remembering the dream. "I had a dream, and I don't know what it means." Then he gave her a sad look. "It doesn't matter," he said. "Why? Do you know about it?" she asked. "That's not important now. What is if you're coming with me or not," he said. She lifted up her shoulder, not sure and still a bit puzzled. "Fine, I'll give you time, but until then," he said, disappearing into the darkness. She then thought to herself, "What the hell is going on? I thought my life was horrible, but now I'm just confused. I have a feeling it is going to be spiraling downwards at any time. What is the dream about? Maybe it means I can be dead but still have a future, but no heart or soul. Just forget about it." She went over to her window and was looking out and seeing a black bat fly over by. She shook her head and fell asleep into the moonlight. Sorry everyone, it's a cliffhanger from here. Hope everyone enjoyed. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Bloopers are on the way.
Maybe you're too busy with your life to even notice me. I'm your daughter, Dad. You can be nice and compliment me once every okay, that was fucked up. She wanted to kill him so bad at that second. She clenched her hands and her expression. Fuck. Okay, I fucked that all up.